Hey!
Ladies and
Shit.
gentlemen, welcome to JV Live, presented to you today by Oxymoron Gaming. We hope to have a special guest, although our social media ambassador might have cocked the timings up.
Mate, maybe. Possibly. Yeah.
So we are going to be talking about video games,
And things!
mainly video games.
Yeah, mainly.
That's why we're on Twitch,
I know.
which would
Game
probably help
related.
if I actually got up the Twitch page to check the chat, if there is any
It's
chat.
on. Sean is here. Hi, Sean!
Hi, Sean.
Hey Sean,
See? I'm useful for something. Fucking something. Jesus, did I say? Nah, never mind.
I never said you weren't useful. I just said you might have accidentally cocked up the timings.
Might have done.
That's
Might have.
that's a perfectly legitimate mistake to make.
Actually, you know what? See, well, you blether. I'll do a Facebook thing.
Well, I'm now going to do the introductions of the panel.
Ah, okay, you do that. I'll do what I'm doing.
So obviously I am Tok, as that's what name is right here, here in the box. So to my left on your screen is Gords.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show.
He also has his name in the box, just in case we forget what he's called.
I'm unforgettable.
Generally, yes. And our social media ambassador.
You're just gonna rub that in now, aren't you?
I'm just going to constantly call you the social media ambassador. That's your new job title. It comes with absolutely no pay. In fact, by the end of this month, you'll owe me £100,000.
I don't see how that works, but
When
I'm
the
not going to say okay.
when the contract comes through, just sign it and send it back, please.
Don't bother reading it.
It's not worth reading.
So yes, we have Pants over on this side of me. Say hello, Pants.
Hello, pants.
So we are here and we are talking about video games.
Yay!
So
And related culture things.
what things have been released this week?
XCOM 2.
XCOM 2 has been released this week, and American Truck Simulator.
I didn't want to say that because I don't see the point of those games.
If
Don't hate them.
dude, American Truck Simulator is awesome.
If
I've
I
been
wanted to drive, I'd go and get in the fucking car. you know.
I've
Eh.
been seeing quite a few people that I watch playing Scrapyard Mechanic, and at first I was quite meh, but I watched a few last night when I'd settled down, and actually when there's a few of them playing, it looks like it could be quite a lot of fun.
See, this is what you got to remember, man. Games aren't just about killing things. Sometimes it's just about making deliveries. I mean, you should know you're playing Elite.
Yeah, but you get to shoot stuff in that, so shush. I don't do deliveries much. I do more shooting things. Because you have options. Euro
I
Truck
started-
Simulator, you drive.
I
Drive
started
somewhere.
watching your stream 15
did?
minutes in, and you were just sorting your ship out.
I did put it in the comments and said this isn't exactly the most exciting thing to be done. But
Yeah, but
I thought I'd stream it anyway.
I was watching it on a phone, so I don't get to see the comments.
Mm.
Not as easily, anyway.
Right.
I have to make an effort for that.
I did drop into your stream, and then I dropped straight back out of your stream. And that's not a reflection on you. It's a fact that it went really quiet at work, and I was at work when you were doing it. And then the moment I put the stream on and it had loaded, the phone started going mental, and I was just like, no, I can't reach. I'm either watching the stream or I'm working, and when I'm getting paid to work, I'd rather be watching streams, but you know, unfortunately you got to do a little bit of work so nobody knows that you're actually just watching streams when you're at work.
Totally.
Not that I've ever watched streams when I'm at work.
I never do that either.
Or design Facebook logos, or do any sort of design work in Photoshop constantly and get annoyed when the phone rings. Anyway, so yes, XCOM 2's come out. which looks to be just as good as the last XCOM game, which was a pretty good game.
And which was just,
For those of us
was
that
it as
aren't-
good as the originals?
I don't think the
I
last.
don't think.
I don't think it was as good as the originals. I think it was a nice update of it.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Yeah.
Yes, chat's working.
I was talking to Sean.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that Sean's here because
I told you 5 minutes ago. God.
See, this is why he's the communications officer.
Yeah, this is why he's our social media ambassador. Because if it was up to me, well, I can't
Fuck
say
no,
what
it's-
I can't even say what I would do with social media if it was up to me. It's not a pleasant conversation to have. But yes. So I don't think but XCOM 2.
Yes. Where were we?
See, I'm bringing us back onto topic now.
Yeah, well done. I think
Yeah.
that's a first.
Your good influence is rubbing off on me.
Something's rubbing off on you, but hey.
So yeah, XCOM 2. I've seen a bit of it. I've not really paid much attention to it because I never managed to finish the last one because I was doing other things, playing other games and such. And so I kind of want to finish the last one before I move on to this one.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I know there's not really much correlation between the two because it's an XCOM game, and basically an XCOM game is just build a team and try not to get the team killed because the longer they're alive, the better bonus you get.
See, that's the one little thing about XCOM 2 that kind of bugs me. It's not underwater. I kind of think they should have followed the track of the front, gone Terror of the Deep redo thing and done what they did the first time round. That would have been awesome. But maybe it's in their sack of things people do.
It'll be part of the £40 season pass.
Yeah, it might be. You never know. And they might have it. I've not actually seen all that much about it, but
No, we
I've
haven't
seen enough
actually.
to know that I want it.
I find it funny, really, because some games you get quite a lot of media about it before the game's released, and then
Mhm.
other games you get barely anything. It's stupid. It sounds like the FIFA games. You get next to no information about the FIFA games until they're released, and
Yeah.
then it's like, what the hell did anybody buy this game for?
Well, I think that's one of well, it doesn't really work actually. I was going to say, is that not one of the things with these yearly release things that everybody knows it's coming, so they don't have to do that much advertising? But then you get Call of Duty, which you can't fucking walk down the street without having to scrape off your shoes. So, yeah,
That's
that actually
the-
shoots that in the arse. Never mind.
That's the advertising you're talking about, not the players, right?
Yeah, the advertising. Aye.
Can I just hold my hand up and say I have never, ever, ever played any Call of Duty game ever.
Believe it or not,
I
that
have
actually
no interest
deserves
in doing so.
no. That deserves a slap because the original Call of Duties were good and they were really
Nah.
good.
Yeah, back in the day when Call of Duty was about World War II and killing the Nazis
Yeah,
and
totally.
I've got a feeling that when the first one came out, it was on the wrong platform.
PlayStation.
Yes, like I say, it was on the wrong platform
Yeah.
because I wasn't using a PlayStation at that point in
Okay,
time.
so it's on the wrong platform because you didn't have one. Okay.
Exactly.
It's on the wrong
Yeah, but
platform for gourds, is
if-
what you mean.
Yes.
If you see what I mean, it was the wrong platform for me to have got into playing it because I didn't have one.
This is like when people say to me, "Have you played The Last of Us?" No. Why not? You're a gamer. Yes. But I refuse to buy a PlayStation 3 on account of I don't want a Blu-ray player shoved down my throat when I believe that digital is the way forward. Thank you and good night. Everything should be digital, man. We're at an age where we should be doing just purely digital stuff.
Well, lots of places are, in all honesty. You know.
What's the last time you brought a hard copy game?
I don't have any means of
I don't
putting a hard
actually
copy
know.
game on my PC.
No, neither did I. When I built the PC, I did a little bit of budgeting constraint at one point, and I had to drop like £10-12, so the DVD drive went.
In fact, I'm just looking at my case, and there isn't an actual physical means of mounting a hard copy playing device inside the case.
Oh, I have them, but I have really nice grills over it, and I don't want to ruin the aesthetic of the case by putting a DVD player in.
No,
Yeah.
my case, I'm just looking, cannot physically have a disc type drive fitted in it at all.
There's a lot of cases out there nowadays that can't. It's not something that people think about now with the modern rigs and stuff. A lot of them, you don't get it.
The only way I could do it would be to get an external drive, like a USB type drive or something, and do it that way.
I have a DVD drive, but more because I've got a lot of old box games. But I don't think I've actually bought a physical copy in a good 2 or 3 years. At least.
That's because the Great Gaben is too good to you.
Mm-hmm. There's another Steam sale on just now, by the way. Did you notice?
Yes, I did notice.
They're doing one for Chinese New Year now. That's fun. That's the first time I've seen that. Or noticed, maybe.
And I'm actively avoiding Steam, other than the bit where it says games.
I'm just generally actively avoiding Steam right now because I don't have the pennies.
Yeah, we kind of spent a bit much at Christmas. You spent a lot more than I did.
I did, yes.
I was quite tempted to get Borderlands 2 because that was on a 75% sale the other weekend. It was like less than a $5.
There's a few things in the sale that I kind of want, but I'm avoiding it. I get one of those emails from them, all this shit on your wish list is on sale, and it was like, the fuck? An item on your wish list on sale. So I launched the app, the Steam app, because it was downstairs on my phone, it wasn't coming upstairs just to look, and it's like, everything on the wish list is on sale. That's not an item, you fuckers. Like, there must be a sale on. Alright, stop looking at Steam now.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just...
No, it's not, but
it's
it
just...
is.
If you would have had
It's
time to
time.
prepare...
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
I was quite gutted because Raven Horde's on my wish list,
Mm.
and I do quite fancy that. And that was on sale, but it was only about 20% off, so it was still about 20 quid.
Yeah.
And it was a bit. If it had been a really good sale, yes, but I'm trying not to go insane.
G2A's got a sale on just now as well, which has got some good shit in it too.
See, I don't think I have much on my wish list. There's a horror game coming out that I actually want to play, so...
What's that? It's not like you.
Yeah, I know. And it's even got those creepy fucking mannequins in, which just scared the hell out of me anyway. But yeah, there is a horror game that I want to play. Because I used to play quite a lot of horror games. Even if I play it though, if I get it and I play it, I won't be doing it for YouTube.
Mhm.
Because I don't do horror games for YouTube.
Oh, go on, it'll be funny.
No, I just do. Queen of Rooney Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Talk is right, pants, shut up. Thank you very much, Queen of Rooney.
I'll just go to Huff now.
I have no idea what that was regarding now.
Probably
You
your
probably told me,
assertion
Sean.
that Blu-ray should have been taken outside and shot.
Well, that was the thing. I no.
I like Blu-ray.
I like digital. It's better than Blu-ray. It can be an infinite size.
See, for movies, I don't mind Blu-ray. For games, I'd prefer digital. I'm on you with that one.
I flatly refused to get into Blu-ray because when it came out, I had a huge collection of DVDs, and there's no way I was starting my collection again or buying into a new system, which may or may not have been successful. And now that I'm in a position to actually think about looking properly at a new media system, the simple fact is you can stream any film you want, so what's the point?
Most of them come with Blu-ray built in anyway, so there's no point not having one.
Yeah, if you buy something, but at the moment I've bought 2 media players this last year, and quite frankly, you couldn't fit a Blu-ray DVD in it
Yeah.
because they're that small.
Look, all I'm saying is the only reason I own a Blu-ray player is because it came with the Xbox.
Oh, the Xbox good. Blu-ray now as well, yeah.
Yeah, Xbox One is Blu-ray.
Right.
And everything's had
Well,
to go Blu-ray just generally for the
They've had
size
to,
of the
'cause they
games.
did away with HD DVD, didn't they? So
Well, HD DVD didn't even get a start.
no,
No,
the
barely.
Xbox 360 was HD DVD.
Mhm.
If
No,
memory serves me correctly,
no, it was still
but
just
it got killed
DVD.
off.
No,
The-
the original
needed an
Xbox
extra
360 was actually just a standard DVD player, but
Yep.
you could get an HD DVD add-on for it.
Which I had.
And I still think it was the better console out of the two because it just did its job. A lot of games didn't work properly on PlayStation because of the Blu-ray format.
Mm.
Because developers didn't know what to do with it. They'd never worked with it before. It wasn't something that crossed the developer's mind. So for the first 5 years of the console's life cycle, bearing in mind it only lasted 8 years in total anyway, the every single game was bugged to hell. Fallout 3 was completely and utterly unplayable. Is that Bethesda's fault? Probably a little.
I think part of the
More than a
Blu-ray thing in the PlayStation 3, you've got to remember the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were the first consoles that weren't launched just as a games console. They were launched as an entertainment center instead. So Xbox put the money into HD DVD and being able to handle that, even if you had to buy an add-on in order to do so, and PlayStation bought into Blu-ray, and Blu-ray was the one that won out of the two different formats.
Well, I mean, really, Blu-ray was a Sony thing anyway, and it was basically just Sony trying to hold the entertainment world to ransom, as per bloody usual. And everybody goes, "Oh, Sony have never done anything wrong." Fucking mini disc. End of. It lasted less than a year. It was a brilliant format, don't get me wrong, but an MP3 player was much better.
Yeah, and it was one of those unfortunate things that was launched as digital media sort of started coming
Yeah.
on the scene. I've got a friend who's still got a mini disc car stereo. He
Yeah.
actually he literally bought into a mini disc car stereo and a mini disc home system, and he did DJing and stuff so he could put all his LPs onto mini disc and stuff like that, and it was really good. It was a clever format, but I know that him investing into that format cost him an absolute fortune,
Yeah, and now
and that was the issue.
a DJ just turns up at a pub or wherever he's playing with a
Yeah, it
laptop.
plugs in a
laptop,
mini
an
stick.
MP3 player.
Just plugs in a USB stick.
Not a
and
U-
it's got, you've got. Well, I've got a USB stick chucked in my door pocket of my truck, and that's about 50 gigs, 60 gigs or something stupid like
64 probably, yeah.
that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can buy a 64 gig of memory now for next to nothing. Little USB 64 gig stick is, what, about 12, 13 quid?
I'll tell a lie. It was a 32 gig USB 3 stick, and it was less than a tenner. So 32 gigs. Even a DJ is going to struggle
Oh yeah, because you only need
to need more than that.
you only need, like, if you're going to be there from 6 until 1 o'clock maybe, whatever, you only need like 7-8 hours worth of music and you're sorted. 7-8
Yeah.
hours worth of music is probably less than a gig unless you're using proper true audio files. But you won't be using true audio files, you'll be using MP3s or you'll be using FLAC files.
Well, the thing is as well, I mean, a DJ is going to want to carry more than just what he's decided to play for his set list. He's going to want other options, but 32 gigs is still going to cover him for everything. He's not going to need to have a disc just for that evening. 32 gigs is probably going to cover him for everything.
Yeah.
And he just sets his playlist up then.
So yeah, long, tall and short of it, and I'm not the only one who feels like this, A lot of people didn't buy the PlayStation 3 purely on the grounds that they didn't want to invest in Blu-ray technology.
I didn't buy it because at the time I liked my Xboxes. So I bought an Xbox 360, and again, I wasn't in a position to buy 2 consoles.
But I rarely ever used them. I always came back to PCs.
But I've come back to PC, but it's taken me some years. But Xbox, for me, was brilliant because I used Xbox Live on the original Xbox, so I knew that everything was secure and safe and the way it was done. And I don't mind paying for the online because it means that if something goes wrong, you've got a legitimate claim to be pissed off about it.
I actually remember Xbox Live first coming up, where you could buy a film and download the film, and there was actually a setting where you said, yes, I want to watch this film, so you bought the film, and there was a setting so that the film downloaded and then it automatically turned the Xbox off once it had finished downloading, and then you had that film for 24 hours to watch. And as soon as I started playing with that, I sat there thinking, this is probably going to be the future. You no longer have to, at this point you were planning ahead, but at that point internet speeds were so low that streaming a film was potentially problematic unless you were prepared to pay a lot for your internet connection. Now I can stream now I can stream a 1080p film and never have an issue.
Well, that sort of technology actually came about from PC gaming anyway.
Exactly.
Because you got a lot of games on PC, or you got lots of bits of software where you had a timed demo of it. You could only play for so long. And basically all it does is taps into the internal clock. And because you've got that constant internet connection, it registers what the time was when it was downloaded, started, whatever, and when it'll finish. It's really smart technology. People got wise to it though and started cheating it, which is not legitimate. And we here at Oxymoron Gaming do not condone such activities. That was an important thing to make.
It is actually, because it brings up another point. The whole, like you say, the rental of films and stuff like that. It's a good thing because it's relatively inexpensive. But games and all the rest of it are getting that way, especially when you look at the likes of Steam sales and the sort of grey market sellers like GOG, G2A, and Green Man Gaming and all that sort of stuff. The games and things are so dirt cheap that there's not really much point pirating shit anymore. Because if you want something, you wait a little while, and if you want it on day one, fair, full price and whatnot. But even still, there's no point not having legitimate stuff anymore.
Yeah, but let's not forget as well that with Steam, you never actually truly own the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, you just own the rights to play that game.
However, those rights are only rescinded if Steam goes belly up. And the chances of Steam going belly up, well, put it this way, you got more chance of Half-Life 3 being confirmed later this month than you have of Steam going belly up.
Watch this in about 2 days or something. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
If you see my Facebook status, it's just fuck you, Gabe, fuck you. Then you know what's going on.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's the whole thing. But then I was thinking about this the other day. The development cycle for games has got larger and larger. Mm-hmm. Look at something like, you're playing Elite. Mm-hmm. Elite's a game I've been sort of on our following because it's a game that I'm interested in playing. Mm-hmm. And it really is not as grindy as some people are making out just.
It depends how you play it. It can be if you lock yourself into doing one particular activity. But it's not as bad as. And don't forget,
you've only really got a tenth of what they really want to do with that game so far.
It is. They've said as much themselves that they've got it to the stage where they thought that they have enough content, they have all the mechanics in place, that it's releasable. But they're not done with it. This is a 10-year development cycle that they're running on, and they're just releasing it bit at a time. So rather than making everybody wait several years for the actual game itself to come out and go, yay, we're ready, here it is. They're just doing it chunk by chunk. So they've got their space flight and trading and all the important bits are working. They've just released the planetary landing stuff with the buggies and shit, and they're going to, keep building from there. Whereas Star Citizen are doing it the other way. They are wanting to build the MMO type universe and have it all release in a honor. And that development is taking, how long's that now? Is it 3 years? It's been on the go?
There are playable versions of Star Citizen.
Yes, but they are alpha tests and very, very specifically quoted as such. When you buy it, you say you are getting access to the test bed platform. They're not saying this is the game you can play.
But they are definitely two games that are worth keeping an eye on, because
if they both pull off what they want to do, they're going to be amazing.
Yeah, Elite is the here and now, and that's the one that's evolving, and you can see it evolving. Star Citizen, you'll see bits and pieces, but when you see the major stuff happen with Star Citizen, it's going to come all at once.
Yeah.
And
Does Elite actually trace back to the old Frontier Elite then?
Yes, it does.
Is it the successor to?
Yes.
Right. I'm slightly more familiar with.
Well,
it is.
that was literally one of the first games I ever played, was Elite on the BBC Micro when I was 6.
Yeah.
And I played Frontier, and I played Frontier Elite 2, and I played no, there wasn't one after that, and obviously I'm playing Elite Dangerous now. So this is a 31-year fucking lifetime,
Cycle,
effectively.
Really.
Yeah. For that game, for me at least. But there's folk that have just younger folk that haven't played the originals, or maybe just played Frontier on PC or something like that.
hey,
10 years ago, and
don't you tarnish all us young folk.
Well,
yes, just remind everybody I'm the old git in the room, shall you?
it's like the meme that's you're younger than me.
Not by much.
There's
I
the
didn't
meme
wanna
that's
highlight
going.
that, though.
There's the meme that's going about at the moment, isn't there? A picture of a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
Yeah.
The quote beneath it is, "So my younger son looked at that and said, wow, you've managed to 3D print the save logo."
Yep.
I remember playing a game called Crystal Caverns on 3.5-inch floppy. Man, I used to love
I remember
that.
loading
I
games off cassettes.
I remember aspiring to own a 3.5-inch floppy because, like Martin says, we had to load games on cassette.
See, the 3.5-inch floppy was nothing. Remember
Hang
the
on,
5.5s?
wait. I'm not that young that we didn't have to do the cassette thing, alright? I had to do the cassette thing. I had an Amstrad. You'd spend forever waiting for it to load, and then once it had finally loaded, you didn't want to die, because if you died, you had to rewind the tape. And this was back in the days before the fast rewind that you get nowadays on tape players, which I don't even know if you get anymore, because I don't even know if you can buy freaking tape players.
Don't forget, the 5.5-inch floppy disk was a genuine floppy disk.
That was floppy. That's why they're called floppy disks. Yeah, totally. But no, that was our first.
Was a molded plastic assembly.
If
that
you
was our first step from cassettes. Yeah.
If you want to talk about age, and this is my mother actually taught me to do this, because before any of us were born, the children, she was actually a computer programmer.
Ah.
And back in those days, a computer was a room. And it was punch cards.
Yeah, I've seen those. Dad had a bunch of them too.
And she actually taught me how it all works. So I know how to do the whole punch card thing. It's just basic binary.
Yeah.
The only difference is between that and like an original computer, as desktop computer, shall we say, is that the binary was then transferred to a digital form of binary opposed to an actual
physical form.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've done tapes. I've done 5-inch floppies and 3.5-inch floppies. I remember playing Settlers on the Amiga,
Yeah.
and it came on like 10 discs, and you had to.
Is it not 5?
I can't remember what it was, but all I remember is it used to take forever to load, and then as soon as you'd done your first move, it'd say, "Please insert disc 4."
Yeah. I'm trying
Was
to
it-
think what one. There
Was
was
it
one.
a 500, a 500 plus, a 600, or a 1200 though?
No, this is a modded one, because it had the. You know, on the back of the old Amiga, the airflow on it was a little bit funny.
Hmm.
You could mod it and take the plate off, and then you could buy this little plastic plate to put over it where the air holes were like twice as big. That was the early days of modding, guys.
I'll try to think. There
You
was.
just took the plate out and drilled it out.
There was one. There was a game that came on like 10 discs. I can't. It was on PC. I can't remember for the life of me what it was now, but I'm thinking it was. So I
Forgotten,
remember X-Wing was 3 or 4.
Forgotten Worlds was about 12 discs.
Yeah, I think that
Forgotten
might be it.
Realms.
It was
Forgotten
yeah,
Realms.
possibly it. Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
Underworld, that was another big one.
Sean says, "You bleeding
Yes.
youngsters don't know how good you have it."
You don't.
Probably right.
Well,
Past.
I think the problem we have now with the games industry is people expect the flashy graphics, they expect a decent amount of gameplay, and they expect story from games that really don't need to have story. So I don't see where the games industry now can really go, because total immersion games, they're a while off, properly a while off.
Well, have you actually had a shot of an Oculus Rift yet?
I've played around with one, yeah. One of the V2 dev kits.
Yeah, the DK2. Yeah, that's the one I've mucked about with.
It's brilliant.
It's not that far off, really.
Yeah, but when I say it's far off, what I mean is general consumer. I'm not talking about upper end technology.
They're quite expensive still, yeah.
You know, it's the same.
It's not just the headset's expensive, it's the PC to run it as well.
Mhm.
I mean, you
But if
talk
you think about it, another year or two, and that kind of PC with that kind of power will be run of the mill.
possibly.
Oh no, definitely, because that's how PC stuff goes. I mean, my computer's what, 4, 5 years old, 3 or 4. Aye, 4, I think, and it was all powerful for the time, and it's still managing. But you know, any sort of desktop PC that you pick up, so long as it's got its own integrated. Discrete graphics card, is more powerful than my computer.
Well, for the virtual reality though, they were talking about running 980 Ti's and
Oh
Titan
yeah, for
X's and
optimum
Crossfire.
experience,
For
yeah.
optimum
But
experience.
it can be run. The system specs of the TK2 is 970s. Can run it.
But I mean,
It's just
even
not at the highest graphics settings. If you want the highest graphics settings and everything, then yeah, you're looking at a 980 type situation.
Well-
Sean says, try the Bismarck on the ZX81.
I used to play Harrier Jump Jet on my CPC 464, and that game was so old that it actually came with an overlay for the keyboard, and the overlay was actually a keyboard cover. I don't know if anyone ever remembers keyboard covers, but it's like a stitched together set of thick polymer type plastic, and you stretch that over, and it marked out all the keys for undercarriage and your thrust angles and your flaps and everything else.
Oh, that reminded me of Steel Battalion. Was it Steel Battalion?
Yes, it was.
On the original Xbox with the whole full kit?
Yep. What was it? A 52 key joystick thing?
Something. Basically, mate, you would have needed a desk twice the size
yeah.
of mine to sit it on. and then you've literally got to be about 5 inches from the screen where you're playing it, because otherwise your immersion is gone. This was before your curved 4K fucking monitors, and
Oh yeah, that was you sitting at a good old CRT. Yeah.
and it took you. I played around with it for about 3 or 4 days, and I still didn't quite get the hang of it, because it's like you've got your joysticks and stuff, and then you've got all these different buttons. But when you want to fire, you've got to ready your weapons. You've then got to, arm your weapons. And man, I really want them to bring a decent version of that out with an accessible accessory. I don't want it to be like, because that was, I think, £200, I think, when the game came out, something like.
Oh yes, I remember the Z board. I had one of those for a while. I think I've still got one of the World of Warcraft overlays kicking about somewhere for it, to be honest. That was an advancement of that concept, though.
I'm not talking to you about World of Warcraft, because you were playing World of Warcraft when the greatest MMO was live.
If it was the greatest MMO in all time, it wouldn't be shut down.
They shut it down because the dev team decided that they were going to go all World of Warcrafty with it,
Yeah, I know.
and they ruined it.
Yeah.
So the core gaming group just abandoned it and were like, fuck
Screw
this.
you guys, we'll just go play WoW.
Well, no, there's very few people I know that ever played it really went on to another MMO.
It's since World of Warcraft, MMOs have not been my bag, to be honest.
To be honest, mate, I actually did play World of Warcraft. I got it about a week after it first came out.
Mm.
First person I ever met online was already like level 80, which at the time,
Wouldn't have been 80 at that time. Would have only been 60. Yes,
65?
60. No, 60.
Or whatever. They were like maximum level,
think.
and I was like, you have no life. And then I found out that it was my mate's brother who's doesn't leave the house, and I was like, okay, makes
And
sense.
you were right.
But
no, it's
back then, if you were an archer or you were I obviously
Hunter.
always played a fucking dwarf, right? Dwarven hunter. I always had the wolf with me, even when I leveled up and I was like max level, and they're like, oh, you should have this or you should have that. No, I'm keeping my wolf. But your wolf keeps getting killed. Yeah, but he's my fucking wolf. I've had him since he was a pup.
I'm keeping them.
You had to go.
Yep.
You had to go and buy ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That was a ball ache.
it was a ball ache, but at least there was something to it, because they got different types of ammunition.
Yeah, it gave it some sort of variance and whatnot as you progressed and things. Yeah.
Now you just get a new gun, and apparently it's got infinite ammo.
Yeah. But no, I played World of Warcraft on and off for 9 years. I only stopped with not the last expansion, I think.
Did they have the pandas?
No, it was before the pandas.
Then you're about 6 expansions behind.
Really? That many?
Oh yeah, they release an expansion every year.
Wow. Okay. Shit.
Because me and Reese started playing it again.
Cataclysm. That was the last one I played.
Me and
I think.
Reese started playing it not long ago. But
Seen a
she got more into it than me,
Yeah.
because she never played it.
Mm-hmm.
And she does like games. She likes to play games. She likes the Fallout games, and she plays ESO. And
This reminds me.
in fact, she made me buy ESO on release for PC, and I've still got the freaking statue down here
Cool.
because we had to get the collector's edition,
Oh, wait a second.
which was the best part of £100. To be fair though, it came with a really nice art book, and for somebody who likes art and drawing and stuff like that, it is nice to have the art book.
Meh, that way. I still have my Draenei Priest.
I see your Draenei Priest. And Reiju Molag Bol.
Ah. Different genres.
This
You win
dude-
yours, I win mine.
This dude is awesome. Not only that, if anybody has played the Elder Scrolls series, you know that the Mace of Molag Bal actually causes fatigue and stamina damage.
Mm-hmm.
Twice I've managed to cut my hand on the statue's mace. And-
Did you find yourself unusually tired?
And twice, for 2 days afterwards, I have been sickly ill.
So it works. Oh my god.
And for anybody who knows me, I don't get ill. I don't have time to be ill. I've got shit to do. But yes, the Mace of Molag Bal does work.
You're speaking about how things change.
I'm going to put my priest back.
Last weekend, I went to get a water cooler from my PC because it was actually cheaper than an air cooler.
Yeah.
Go figure. So, because of how the day was going to fall, I had the whole family with me. So, well, other than Dylan. So Tony and the kids came with me into Scan, which I don't know if anyone's. Well, I've not been in another Scan, but I would imagine they're all pretty much the same.
No, I think there's only that one.
Yeah, there's only the one.
In Bolton.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the one. I've only got the one shop, you bastard, that you can nip in. It's not fair.
Would it annoy you if I told you that I could practically throw a rock and hit it from my house?
You're such a dick.
Right, all those
It's
in
just rubbing in.
all those in favour of moving into Gord's summer house.
Yep.
So, right. Well, I'll be honest. I didn't know that. I assumed that there was like scores of them dotted about here, there, and everywhere, and they would be the same. So, I pulled up. I said, "I'll just nip in. I'm just going grabbing this water cooler. I'll have to queue up. Do you want to come in?" I've been in before, but I figured the kids would at least get a kick, and you know they've got Nvidia Shield set up and quite a few PCs set up and this and that and the other. So Tony came in as well, and Tony actually turned around when we left and she said, "You know, that was actually quite cool because they've got." As you walk through the door, they've got like a cabinet, a custom assembled Perspex cabinet with a water-cooled gaming PC with standalone reservoir and everything else, and hard pipe tubing connections for the motherboard, graphics cards, and processor and everything else. So it's all there. So I'm explaining, you know, this is the bit we're going to fit, and ours is going to be a bit like this, and blah blah blah. But then I don't. You'll have seen pictures of them online. They've got like a desk, and the best way to describe the desk is it's a bit like a pool table where when you lift the top off, there's a big hollow area inside the pool table. And in this desk, the top is a glass plate, and the PC again, fully water cooled, multiple graphics cards, everything else, hardlining and all that. It's all laid out under this plexiglass. And then there's three 34-inch monitors laid out on the top of the desk. They've got two of them. And then there's loads of other like gaming type PCs. There's Nvidia Shield set up that you can have a play with, and this and that and the other. And when you compare it to the computer shop that I'm used to, which is like a converted terraced house with the downstairs knocked through and boxes everywhere and keyboards everywhere and dead cases of laptops everywhere, it's quite an interesting experience.
They do what they do, and they do it very well.
Yeah, well,
In all honesty. It's probably why they're one of the most popular computer part retailers.
The thing is, the prices are unbelievable.
yeah, I've just
It's very difficult to beat the prices.
Yeah.
And I have looked. And the fact, like you say, I apologise for rubbing it in, but when you consider that as long as it's a Saturday or I'm back before 5, I can literally call in on the way home, pick those
Oh, I
bits
need
up
this.
and-
I'll just go get it. Yeah.
well, it's like I was saying to Pants the other day, because last week Last Monday, I ordered. No, this Monday. Was it this Monday?
I can't remember.
Was it here this weekend?
No, you were. Yeah. No.
I
You were at
can't.
Jim's last weekend.
But it was the Monday before I ordered my screen, wasn't it? No, I ordered my screen this Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday just past.
Look, it came
Yeah.
Tuesday.
And then it came the following day. I ordered it like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Within minutes of ordering it, I had an order confirmation email.
Mhm.
2 minutes later, I had a picked confirmation, so it had been picked out of the warehouse and ready to send. Then I received a delivery notification to say that it had been given to the thing.
Yep.
And then, yeah, what time did it arrive? Actually,
You were at work.
I was at work, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like
I think you said it was about 9:30 or something. Yeah.
that. Yeah, about 9:30 in the morning. So less than 18 hours after I ordered it. It's on my doorstep. It turned up in perfect condition, not a problem with it whatsoever.
Ouch.
And well, put it this way: if I was saying to somebody else earlier in the week, if I need anything else computer-wise, it'll be Scan. Even if I can find it a couple of quid cheaper somewhere else, I'm just going to order from Scan.
For me, the useful thing is because I'm really very new back into this whole PC thing. I've had a 15-year sabbatical from PCs at least.
Join the club.
The ability to go and actually look at things, because consider I'm an engineer who works out of a van and have done since I was 20 years old. I do not encounter PCs, not in a means of playing about with one. So I'm still using equipment that is what I would consider to be a traditional experience: a keyboard with a wire on, a mouse with a wire on, a little monitor. So when you look at how things like peripherals have ergonomically altered, like a mouse, the ability to go somewhere and actually play with different mice,
Yeah,
see
getting
whether,
the chance to
you know-
actually use the shit before you go and I'll have that.
particularly when you consider the cost of some of these peripherals at this point in time, and I seem to be quite odd in people that are using PCs now, because if it's got lights on that I can't turn off, it's not being bought. It's that simple. If I never had neons underneath my Mark 1 Escort, I do not need my PC to glow like a fucking set of Blackpool Illuminations.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing I said to you when I was building mine. One of the first things I meant to get round to doing was snipping the LEDs in the fans. I didn't get round to doing it, but I'm in a fortunate position that where the PC is, if I do want to leave it on overnight, as long as the screens are turned off and my mic's covered, because my mic's got a little blue LED on it just to tell me that it's live. There's no light from it that I can actually physically see.
Yeah.
But I'm the same. But then when it comes to wireless peripherals, I use a wireless keyboard, not a problem.
Wireless peripherals are like, provided that the power supply for them is what I would consider an intelligent solution, and I don't consider a couple of AA batteries to be an intelligent solution.
How do you feel about a couple of AAA batteries?
Well, that's the thing. The wireless mouse I've got is here, and it's 2 AAAs. So I used it and thought, yeah, this is great. And then it went dead after a couple of days, and I'm not even bothering going to the garage where my large supply of batteries for remote controls and stuff is to put some in it, because they just don't last long enough. That to me is not an intelligent solution.
Well, it's kind of ironic you
Not
say
in
that,
this day and age.
because this keyboard uses AAAs, 2 AAAs. Same AAAs have been in this keyboard now for probably about 3 years.
That's
hell.
more than likely down to intelligent energy management or control.
To be honest, it wasn't cheap when we brought it. Because we brought wireless keyboard and mouse set. They're both Logitech, so they're both pretty decent quality.
Yeah.
It's
It's got intelligent power management, so yeah, they would be okay.
yeah.
But that
would-
mouse it just eats.
It was
Battery life.
it was basically so I could just plug the laptop into the TV, leave
Yeah.
the laptop by the PC, by the TV,
Yeah, and
And
use
then-
it for that.
and then sit in bed and play Star Trek Online.
See, I use for the setup in the living room. I've got an Air mouse, and that actually works with the PC. And if I decide to replace the setup that's in the living room, move it upstairs into the bedroom or something, and put a proper HT PC in the living room, I'll be using an Air mouse definitely, because it's for what you want in the living room. It's
Leave
perfect.
the laptop by the
And
PC.
so I
by
agree
the
with you
TV.
about a wireless setup for such a situation as you describe it.
Well, I mean that's the thing. I mean I got to build a new PC anyway. Because Ree really wants to play Fallout 4, but she'll only play Fallout games on computer. She won't play them on the Xbox. She's played it a bit on the Xbox, but she doesn't like it. She likes to play them on PC. So I need to build her her own little box so she can play it. I'm not spending a lot on that box.
I've not tried Fallout 4 on mine yet, but Kaveri might be a very intelligent way of going about it.
It had
Depending on what you've already got lying around and what excuses you can leverage to maybe buy components to suit yourself rather than.
well, basically, I know that Fallout 4 runs okay on my 650 with my processor. So what I might do is I might upgrade my processor and
Yeah, I was going to say what you're thinking is you might need a new computer and then you'll have some spare components which need a new case to live in.
well, I'm just thinking new CPU, new GPU, bit more RAM, because I'm only running 8 gig of RAM, which really worries me. And I know everyone's gonna be like, "Oh no, 8 gig is more than enough." But I do a lot in
No, it's not.
I do a lot in Photoshop, and I do a lot in like we edit a lot,
Rendering and stuff like
editing and rendering videos and stuff. Yeah. So it is nice to have that extra little buffer of RAM. You can agree with me on this, Pants. You need
Yes.
more, you need more RAM than 8 gig,
Absolutely.
like 64 gig minimum.
Nah, that's pushing it. Honestly, 16's more than enough. 16's enough.
Well,
32's getting silly.
that. You can get 32 gig sticks.
Yeah, you can.
I'm just putting that out there.
not many
Ridiculous
boards that
price.
will actually take them though, without spending stupid money on the board.
You didn't say you were on a budget.
Oh no, this one's not on a budget. The PC I'm running now, on a budget. New PC, not on a budget. In fact, this 22-inch monitor that I'm using now, second screen. The new monitor that I get eventually will be a nice 24-inch, and then there'll be another one of these 22-inch monitors going on the opposite side of it, and I'll have a nice triple monitor display.
I was going to say, if you think the ATI haven't long released that R9 Nano thing, it's like beyond big, and it's fucking 390.
Yeah,
Apparently, it's
Well,
quite
it-
good.
it's not the. I've been looking at it. The Nano is. It's a Fury X without water cooling, basically.
Yeah,
It's a decent one.
that'd be worth a look if you're thinking of upgrading a
But having said
small
that,
machine.
I've seen a number of different reviews where they put a microphone near to the graphics card, and the capacitor whine is shocking. So, if you're interested in quiet PCs, which that to be honest, that's why I put water cooling on mine, because I had the stock AMD fan, which sounds like an air drill running constantly.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
I work in workshops, and air drills running constantly are an irritant.
Well, if you listen really closely, you could probably hear my stock AMD cooler, because I haven't got around to changing the cooler on it yet.
I'd very much recommend one of these coolers I've just bought, because you can't. If you stick your head in the case with the
Got one of the
side
Corsair H series ones, aye.
Cooler Master.
Oh, okay.
It
Same
was-
concept then.
Yeah, it's different sticker on it basically,
Mhm.
but it was 35 quid.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And like I say, I was weighing it up, and if I was to go for an air cooler, I was struggling to find decent air coolers for that
Yeah,
amount
you
of
will.
money,
Yeah, because
because of the large amounts of copper in them and aluminium and the manufacturing of them.
mate, to be honest, factory sealed water cooling is the way to go for any sort of. I won't call it a budget build. Sort of any middle of the road build, really. Unless you're going stupid money and you want a custom water cooling solution, your factory sealed stuff is going to be more than enough.
Well, the thing is, I know that you should think about changing the fluid every once in a while, but for the cost of it, if you don't have to change the fluid for 2 years,
Well, that's the thing in a factory sealed one. You ain't got to worry about that. It's just got a finite lifespan.
that's what I mean.
So, I mean, it is nice when you see these custom built PCs and they got the Perspex side on them and they got all this nice, water cooling running through the entire machine, and they've had the fluid dyed Dayglow yellow or red or whatever, and it looks great.
Shall I give everyone a headache? I'll give everyone a headache. I'll be back in a minute.
You're not going to ring my mother, is he?
Nice. You better hope your mum doesn't watch your videos.
My mom don't watch my stuff. She still thinks I should apply myself and do something good with my life.
That's a standard parent thing, though. Hell, I've started doing that to my kids.
But your kids are only... They're only
Yeah.
wee.
I know. Let's just start early. Fucking, why not? But no, yes. Wild Guards is going and digging out whatever the fuck he's digging out for the last half hour. We should concentrate.
Right.
Right, let him get this done. How many 120mm fans is your cooler guards?
One.
Just
It's
the
only one. Only 120mm radiator. So,
It's Sean's asking.
I'm sorry for the shaky camera, but I'm holding a webcam. So that is... I want to figure out which way I'm going. That is the inside of my PC.
Alright.
So there's your water cooler.
Ah.
Over
Oh,
here.
it's the single, the block fan that fits at the back of the machine, is it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, he's got one of those fancy Perspex sides on it.
This case was less than 20 quid.
Mine was about 12 quid, I think. And that was with delivery.
So
Mine was about 60, maybe 80.
it's certainly a very empty PC case.
I'd
Yeah.
show
Have
you.
you got a cooler on the other side as well?
He means a fan, I think.
Fan. Sorry.
Yeah, it's got an intake fan, and
I
the
know
water
what you mean.
cooler is acting as an intake fan because there's a 200mm fan on top of the case.
Right.
So two 120s drawing in, one 200 drawing out. It's kind of balanced.
Should be alright.
Don't forget that the water cooler's pulling air through a radiator, so its
little
velocity and
restricted.
volume is lower. So, but
Yeah,
there's no
it's-
graphics card in that PC. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So there's not really any generation of heat.
That's the thing. Once you get up to the bigger, more powerful graphics cards, they're all fucking water cooled anyway.
Mm. Yeah.
Starting to be.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. For space management and general tidiness of the case, maybe, but performance-wise, not bad. I mean, like, My cable management is still a mess, but that's because I still intend on doing stuff inside the box.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put my camera on mine before last weekend.
No.
Because I didn't bother tidying it up until I was happy. But now all the cables are shoved down in the bottom. So
Right, Pants, you were saying for the last 30 minutes.
Yes, the last half hour on you two getting sidetracked. Let's cover what we were supposed to cover. Right, what were they again? Hang on. I should have got this a minute ago. Yes, what have you been playing lately?
The Old Republic. Because you made me.
I didn't exactly twist your arm.
Well, you told me I should give it a go.
Yeah, I did tell
that's arm twisting.
That's
Oh, okay.
that's as good as making me.
you. Fair enough.
That's not going to work with The Witcher though. Because I gave it a go and I still think it sucks.
Yeah. Well, she into that.
I've been playing a little bit of Knights of the Old Republic 2, although then I had to redo the entire computer, which means that I've lost my save, which means that unfortunately I've got to start again, but then again I had to start again anyway because I was doing a light side run and
You don't want to anymore.
I fucking hate it. I can't do it.
Oh, I shot Black Ops 3. Really?
Dude, look, at the end of the day, it's not a terrible game.
No, they do multiplayer. They do multiplayer well, but yeah, it's just this intrinsic hate of Call of Duty these days. I can't help it. It's just automatic now. It's like, oh god, not Call of Duty.
I actually played Battlefield Hardline not long ago. Me.
Really? You did pick the shit one to go for, didn't you?
It wasn't terrible.
No, well, okay, fair enough.
The controls were pretty responsive. It was a decent enough game. Graphically, it looked okay.
Yeah, it's pretty enough. It's on par with the rest, at least.
I've also been playing a little bit of Grim Fandango because
Ah.
Grim Fandango.
Yeah.
Other than that, Payday 2, are you?
Yeah, we did play a bit of that, didn't we? What else have I been doing? I finished Knights of the Old Republic, the first one.
Yes, I remember watching your stream.
Some Payday 2. That's it. Shit. I haven't got much gaming done this week at all. That's harsh. Oh well. That's about it.
You really don't want to know about the other gaming I've been doing because it's mostly idle games.
Nah.
I've been playing Boom Beach because I'm actually getting somewhere with Boom Beach now.
Okay.
That's really cool because I know another YouTuber who does Boom Beach videos as well as Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, the thing is, when you're staring down the barrel of 2 hours watching a recovery unit suck gas out of a system, you have an opportunity to stab at your phone a bit, but you don't happen to have a desktop PC in your van. So, there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Gords. When I retire my laptop, right, you can have it because my laptop is a beast. Because my laptop can play practically anything you throw at it, and it'll just go, I probably shouldn't be able to play this, but okay, let's go.
I have been playing a little tiny bit of Lego with the kids because sometimes I need to take one of them off the computer so they stop fighting. But the kids do a lot more gaming than me on the PC, to be honest. And yesterday, this is the news. Yesterday, I signed up for a set of server slots to play Ark. So, the frustration, as Ryan was describing his experience of buying something from Scan, and he got an email confirmation about the order, and then he got an email confirmation about it being packed and picked, and so on and so forth. I ordered a server, which means that no one had to deliver anything. There was no courier companies. All that someone had to do was send me an email saying that it was active. Now, the guys were following this tale of woe because I've been mithering about it for about, 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, last night...
You say mithering, we'd probably say won't shut up about.
No, I'll call it as it is. I was mithering the arse off people.
You were mithering, but in a good way. It wasn't malicious mithering.
So, last night, Mrs. Gordon was going to her friends. So I decided that this was an ideal opportunity. My treat for my birthday last week was to get an Arc server. So I'd asked the guys about it a couple of times last week and got what can only be described as a pathetic response. And come Friday, it was kind of, are we doing this or what? You know. So at 9:30, I bought these slots on the server, and I got a confirmation email that I'd signed up to the website. I got a confirmation email that I'd placed an order. I got a confirmation email that I paid for the order. What I was waiting for was a confirmation email that the Arc server was active. Now, call me a layman if you will, but to me with a server, if you've already got everything loaded on, and basically all you have to do is give people access to that segment of a server, it shouldn't take all day. It really shouldn't. Because I refuse to accept that any company is that busy, if they're in the business of supplying servers, that they can't just fire an email off. So at 8 o'clock last night, the guys were still suffering this tale of woe that we've paid for this server and we still don't have access to it. And then I was sat there on my phone on the settee deciding to watch something on the TV, and I logged into the website and I had received a confirmation email, but the confirmation email had only gone to my new email address that I'm not aware of actually having on the actual server website. So last night I was playing Ark, and this morning I played some Ark, and before I logged into this tonight I played some Ark.
Yeah, so a fair bit of Ark then.
Which, if people haven't played it, I would recommend try it on a public server, but then find access to your own server. It isn't that expensive, having looked into it.
Well, I'm going to start. I don't know when, but we'll get into it. Ryan's wandered off. I was going to say that our next step, our topic of discussion, is what are the plans for streaming this week? You got any plans of making any recordings, Guards?
Do you know, I think I'm actually in a position where I can start thinking about dipping my toe into that, because I've done the bits on the PC that I felt were necessary for that, namely fit a big ass hard drive. I've now got a game that I'm happy about streaming. So really it's only a case of downloading or accessing whichever software I decide to use and having a play. Whether it'll be streaming or recorded remains to be seen yet, because I haven't quite decided yet.
Honestly, when your PC is not that bad. Obviously, you lack the graphics card, but then you got the integrated graphics because you got the you got an APU opposed to a CPU.
The only thing I'm concerned about now is I've only got 8 gigs of RAM in there, which means that the processor's actually only got 7 gigs of RAM to play with. And I've been a bit concerned about that, but I just need to try it and see how it goes.
That's the best thing to do. Just give it a shot. If it doesn't
taking a
work, it
shot.
doesn't work. It's fine.
Best thing to do is just. Have you got a Twitch account?
Yes,
Yeah. Good.
that's how I watched you streaming on your Twitch account.
I,
In fact, you're connected to me on your Twitch account.
are we?
If you're not,
Admit nothing.
then next time I drive past Gloucester, there might be some fucking trouble, let me tell you.
You can do whatever you like to Gloucester. In fact, if you want to do something to Gloucester, I'll jump in the van with you and I'll come and help you. I hate Gloucester. Part and parcel of being brought up in Worcester. You just Gloucester and Hereford, mate. But yeah, no.
It's all the same place as Worcester, though, really, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It's only 5 minutes away.
Depends how you drive. Pretty much. But yeah, just try it. Just try streaming. If that doesn't work, try recording. And just see how it is. But when you stream, make sure you go into your Twitch settings and make it save your streams.
Yeah.
Because that's a big rookie mistake. A lot of people make that mistake. We made it to begin. To be perfectly honest, when we first started doing it, and that's why it's one of the first things that we always point out to people. We always say, make sure that you've got that, because then you can watch the stream back.
Yeah, and learn from it.
If you also link your YouTube account to your Steam, you can then transfer directly from Steam to Twitch. You can transfer directly from Twitch to YouTube. So a lot of our live streams, like this for instance, will go straight onto the YouTube as is. I know Pants likes to stream and then he likes to edit the videos and what.
Depends what I'm streaming though. I meant to ask you about that. How's the track with getting the outro bit on? You just transfer it from Twitch and then stitch it on using YouTube.
You can do. I mean,
Right.
any video you see of mine that has the outro on, I edited it. Like actually put it into Vegas. Spent an hour rendering it.
Can you just hold this thought whilst I go and address something?
We don't want to see you wearing a dress.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Probably not.
I realise you're from Scotland and your education was slightly different to mine, but address
Yes.
with 2 Ds.
Take a
rather
punt
than-
when it's given and go do your
Address.
doing. God.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Streaming and YouTube are two of the easiest things in the world that you can do, but they're also two of the most difficult things in the world to do right.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think we do either right.
We're trying.
But we're learning, we're
Yeah.
progressing, and that's the main thing. And the fact that we just keep going is a testament to ourselves, and mostly a testament to you, because you're kicking all of our asses at the moment and saying, "Oi,
Let's do something.
yeah."
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing or not. But hey, we might as well keep sticking shit up there, if you know what I mean.
But the enthusiasm you have for it is the enthusiasm I had 18 months ago, and then slowly
Yeah.
but surely it dies.
I've
When-
lost out on it a little bit.
When you put something up onto YouTube and it doesn't get many views, you think, is it me?
Well-
Is it the video? Are we just not promoting it right?
Mostly it's because YouTube's the hugest
Yeah, I mean,
streaming
there's a
software.
billions
in
of
the
fucking
world.
videos there.
Thank you,
And
thank you, Gords.
honestly, if you look at the analytics bit every other sort of week and whatnot, all of our videos are probably getting, you know, on average between 5 and 7 views each. Some a bit more, some maybe a little less, some a good bit more. And we're not. It's not bad. That kind of makes it kind of worthwhile, you know. If a few folk are watching it and enjoying it and stuff, then that's a win.
I think the thing with it is, you can go the route of some people, which is and I've had this. My YouTube account is. There's probably about 7 videos that I've uploaded to it. It's my account's mostly been used so that I have access to content that other people create.
Mm-hmm.
But I've uploaded a couple of videos to do with what we shall say for tonight is a taboo subjects that we're all familiar with. And one of those videos was about a prominent person in England barefaced lighting on live TV.
That's all I want to say is right. I didn't even know it was live TV. We're not talking about me, are we?
No. So, as I say, this related to this subject that we shall not.
We
give
shall
names
not
to.
discuss.
I happened to get an update that someone had commented on it, which I felt was funny because I'd only put it on there so that I can use it at a later date because I have access to that footage. And I happened to notice that someone who I now know and have talked to had actually somehow seen this video and he'd commented on it. I am a new reviewer on YouTube. Please can you watch my channel and help build it? Now, I realise that there's nothing that you might say legally wrong with that, but I feel that's kind of whoring yourself out.
You see,
But when you start clicking on comments, you start seeing that quite often. I'm a up and coming YouTube person. Please can you watch my video posted on someone else's YouTube video?
Yeah.
in fact, if Pan,
There's an
And I
awful lot
really-
of that, actually.
I really
Yeah,
disagree
that's when
with
I can.
that.
You
If-
honestly just have to ignore it.
if Pans actually goes onto the Oxymore on YouTube, because YouTube is getting quite good at this now, and he goes to the comment section. There's some that are flagged as spam. I've deleted a few of them, and I think there might be 1 or 2 left in there. But the ones that are flagged as spam are basically, follow my stream link.
Yeah.
Now I haven't got a problem. Like I have a personal YouTube account. So if I'm watching a video and I want to comment, I make sure I'm logged into that rather than the Oxymoron Gaming one.
Yeah.
The reason is I don't want to go then and comment on somebody's videos, Oxymoron Gaming, for people to go, oh, you're only here to try and promote yourself.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just here to post a bloody comment. That's why I posted my bloody comment. My comment had nothing to do with promoting myself.
This was where I was going with it. I personally feel that it is morally wrong to try to promote yourself on someone else's YouTube video. And I feel like you say that what you should do is if you happen to want to actually make a salient comment about the video that you watched that you wanted to comment on, you should do so under a private account rather than what we'll call, for better or worse, a business account.
Yeah.
Because not only is, like you say, you open yourself up for a criticism that it's self-promotion, but if someone takes exception, you potentially sully in the name of the business, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's like us.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, I mean, this time last year we were doing. Well, I say we. Fat Boy and Gray and Mitch were doing a bit with Girl on the Verge, which is another YouTube channel. So we were sort of cross promoting. She'd promote us, we'd promote her. Everything was good.
Yeah, but then that is an agreement between
yeah.
content creators,
And that's where I'm going
which
to.
is a completely different circumstance than randomly showing up on someone's channel, essentially only there to promote yourself for your own benefit.
I mean, it's like if somebody came to us.
That's more like a collaboration that's been agreed in advance.
Yeah. But
And you're both sort of working off your paired subscriber levels
Yeah.
and helping to promote each other.
Yeah, but it's like the other night when me and Pants were streaming some Payday 2. We had a guy from the chat wanted to join in.
Mm-hmm.
So we made sure he could join in. And the next available slot, he joined us. If he'd have been a YouTuber or a Twitch or whatever and would have wanted to join us, it would have been the same thing. Okay, you want to
Yeah.
join us, that's fine.
Well, that is what we were planning doing tonight. Yeah, we were supposed to have a guest on, after all, but unfortunately they didn't make it, which is a bit of a shame. But, these things happen.
It's a good job one of us who had to completely reinstall their computer last week managed to actually reinstall Photoshop as one of the first things so we could have a new overlay, and this one is not perfect, but it's freaking there.
It's doing the job. It's doing the job.
I'm going to have to watch the stream back just to see the overlay. Because I'm staring at a Skype screen.
It's alright, it's not, I don't think it's a brilliant overlay, but it's not a terrible overlay.
That's it. Fine.
I'm going to have to consider my background because I'm just looking and you can see our James in the background. He's a very wee boy. Maybe need something more appropriate.
Wait, hang on a minute. Am I reading this Facebook message right?
What Facebook message would that be?
I got a
Fatboy
Notification.
asked how it's going and then told
Oh,
us
yeah.
he'll watch it when he's in the gym tomorrow.
Yes, he did. Are we going to have to change
What?
his nickname
in the cafe.
to Buff Boy?
That's a little bit disturbing.
It is, isn't it? It's just going to the gym. Fucking nonsense. Get your gamer head on, man.
The only time I want to go to the gym is if I'm playing San Andreas. Damn, that was,
No,
that was a good game, man.
that was good. I'd like to say Vice City was the last great Grand Theft Auto, but San Andreas was quite good too.
San Andreas was brilliant. Although,
I didn't like it as much as I enjoyed Vice City.
Gords, if you check Facebook chat, you'll see the overlay.
Yeah, I can see it. It's just come up. I'm just looking at what Sean has. Sean's tagged me in a picture on Facebook, and it appears Sean's running a very, very similar setup to myself. In fact, I initially thought it was a screen grab of mine, but there's far too many LEDs on the damn thing for mine.
Yeah, Sean's having a problem with the stream. Apparently, it keeps buffering.
Yeah, mine's been fine. I've got it running in the background.
Yeah, I've got it running
We're
in the
here.
background. It's still running fine for me.
Yeah, I haven't had
Um,
any buffering and stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Because as far as I haven't opted in for that new,
Aye, the Insta stream thing. Yeah.
because, but Sean's connection is brilliant.
Usually, yeah.
No, what I mean is it's a good connection.
Mhm.
You don't think it's something to do with Skype, do you?
No.
No.
Well,
because
saying that, you're watching the stream on Twitch, aren't you?
Uh huh.
we're both watching it fine. Because I'm watching it on the dashboard. I don't know where Pants is watching it.
Channel.
Oh yeah, because you're logged in as you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those funny things. I mean, this is why I can't watch Twitch when I'm at work very often. Because it does tend to buffer quite a bit, and I just sort of get
Oh.
irritated with it.
I kind of noticed that last time I watched you on Twitch, but I put that down to a mobile signal.
Oh, the
Last
last
year's.
time I was streaming, I think I had mine on 1080.
I only ever stream on 720. And I only ever stream on
Oh,
720.
right, okay. It means it's like watching tennis between the overlay. When each one of us talks. I get it now.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, there's that.
Well, now that you mention it, black, white, and red Pong is kind of what I was going for. It's really not.
So what you mean is it's at the moment it's set up to automatically switch about as each one of us comes in, rather than just the three of us just talking heads.
All three of us on at the same time.
It's just because we're all
What to
in.
do, Sean? Ignore who's talking and just watch whoever you find the most attractive. That'll work. You just sit and stare at Ryan's beard.
I'm just looking at my image and I'm really looking kind of Wolverine-like at the moment.
I would say more Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are getting into the last 5 minutes. Well, we are into the last 5 minutes of the show.
We are. Yes, we are actually trying to do timings and things now.
So,
Yay.
how about we actually start our goodbyes, and then because we always waffle for a couple of minutes afterwards. So, Gords, would you like to say your goodbyes to the stream?
Yes, thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully you'll join us again, and hopefully you enjoyed the evening and we didn't completely ruin your Saturday night, because that would be terrible. But yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Pants, would you like to do your goodbyes?
Indeed. Goodbye, stream. Thank you for watching. Whether you watch live on Twitch or watching via YouTube later, it's a pleasure to amuse you if you have been amused. If not, well, tough. What did you watch this for an hour and a half for? Sorry we didn't have our guest on. Obviously something had happened. So yes, we'll give it a try again next week. We'll hopefully have another streamer of some description, someone to bounce more new discussions off of, rather than just us three sitting talking shit for an hour and a half.
Pants,
Take care, folks.
Pants did actually make questions and everything.
Did.
We were actually really prepared for this stream.
Totally.
Some of you were. You didn't tell me I had to look at what recent games have been released or anything.
Well,
Wow, yeah. That was like a 5-minute discussion. The rest of it was just waffling, so...
I'm fortunate I need to log into Skype at a set time.
Well, I did make a point of saying to everybody, let's be in Skype like half an hour before we go live, just so...
Yeah, the amusing thing was that you were quite shocked when I logged into Skype at the agreed time.
yeah, that was a nice too.
Well, in fairness, you were 2.5 minutes early.
Yeah.
But the new 9 o'clock start time, like I said, is more beneficial for everybody because everybody now has got... Because I actually, for once, before a live stream, I actually found myself doing something to kill time.
Yeah, I did too. I was sat watching YouTube.
Yeah, I sat watching telly. Yeah. Quite nice, actually. not
I
having to
was
rush.
watching a film on Sky and really wasn't getting into it. Hence the reason why I was up here at like 8 o'clock.
Actually, I lied. I was feeding dodos on Ark. And then watched the video on YouTube.
About how to feed dodos on Ark. So thank
We
you
need
very
to try
much.
this ARC thing.
So thank you very much for watching. This has been Oxymoron Presents JV Live
On Twitch.
on Twitch. Yeah, I've even put on the overlay what date we were recording this.
Did you? Oh, you bloody did too. Oh, and you smart.
Yeah,
I never noticed that until you mentioned it there.
it's just so people can't come back to us and say, "Well, actually, I think you'll find." Yeah, well, if you actually read the video, mate, it was recorded on the 6th of February, which means that information hadn't come to light at that time. So I think, fuck off. So, tatty bye.
See you guys.